Manchester City can go top of the Premier League this Wednesday night. A blockbuster week is set in store for Manchester City, but we have to do our job. We have two big jobs this week. I'm putting out this preview slightly later because I wanted to wait and see what the outcome of the Arsenal-Brentford game would be, and Arsenal have once again dropped points. Do you remember, people? Throw it back to when we played them in the FA Cup. We're going to play our B team, they said. We want to focus on the league, they said. We don't care about disrupting momentum, they said. They have disrupted momentum massively, and it has crumbled them. I am not saying they've completely flopped and they've fallen off or been derailed completely, but I'm sorry if you refuse to believe that putting out your B team and disrupting your momentum in the Etihad hasn't impacted you negatively. You are wrong. I genuinely believe that. They have lost to Everton, they lost to us, and they've now dropped points at home to Brentford. We were laughed at when we lost to Brentford. Brentford are a good team, and they have now taken 2 points off Arsenal. Should we beat Villa tomorrow, we go 3 points behind Arsenal. Then should we beat Arsenal in the Emirates on Wednesday night, we go top of the league because we have a +4 goal difference as it stands, so we can have a bare minimum of a +5 goal difference should we win that game. This is absolutely huge for Manchester City. I said it all along as I was being told by rival fans and Arsenal fans that we're moving like a steam train. We can't be stopped. City don't look good enough. City are going to drop more points. I said I do believe, yes, City will drop more points as we did in White Hart Lane last week, but I also did believe that Arsenal will drop more points, or they will drop points, and they have done so twice now in the space of a week. These title races are so pressurizing. It's so hard to keep going week in, week out. Then when a stumbling block comes your way, like an Everton loss, like a Brentford draw, it's hard to get yourself back into that siege mentality, which Arsenal had all season. Now, speaking of siege mentality has to be implemented into Manchester City tomorrow. It has to have been implemented from the beginning of last week, really, with everything that's happened surrounding our club this week. The world against Manchester City. Now is a time for us to make a massive, massive statement. We're not going to allow what has gone on behind the scenes and in the boardroom and in the courtroom, essentially, in time to come, to disrupt any of our plans and our objectives. Our plans and objectives remain the exact same. We want to win the Premier League. We may not be playing our best football. We may have some players not wanting to be there. We may have some tactical decisions made by Pep Guardiola that we're not all entirely happy about, but we still have the quality to win this league. Now, we play Aston Villa at home tomorrow, and this is a fixture I would want. It's a fixture I would want. When Arsenal lost at home or away to Everton last week, we knew that the Tottenham game was a massive opportunity for us to capitalise and gain some points on Arsenal in this title race. But Tottenham away is not a game that you would want in that situation. It could not be tougher for us. A place we've never scored a goal, never mind won the game. So that was not ideal. Now we have a home game against Unai Emery's Aston Villa, who we know are a good team. Unai Emery plays good football. I'm going to look at the Premier League table right now because I'm not even altogether sure where they are, but they've caused problems. They've beaten United, I believe, this season. And they've caused problems to a lot of very good teams. Villa are currently in 11th place, 1 point behind Liverpool, who are in 10th. So Villa are on 28 points, Liverpool on 29. Villa, should they beat us tomorrow, they would go into the top half of the Premier League. They will not be an easy game. They absolutely will not be an easy game, but I am also acknowledging the fact that it is a perfect game for us to capitalise on yet another slip-up from Arsenal. Another slip-up. If we don't capitalise on Arsenal slipping up a second time in a row, then I'm sorry, I don't think we don't believe we do deserve to go on and win this Premier League. This team has to show that character and that fight and that willingness to capitalise now more than ever, because the story is set for us. The story is set for us with everything going against us right now, and everyone's focusing on the negative narrative surrounding Manchester City. We can focus and be excited and motivated by the positive storyline that we can look at. Beat Villa in good fashion. I want to see a good performance. I need the team playing as a collective unit. Pep needs to motivate these players both individually for different reasons and collectively as a unit to work together. Capitalise tomorrow, beat Villa with a good performance, then move to the Emirates, a wounded team in Arsenal. They're absolutely wounded right now. They've been stunned. They've been shocked. They've had it all their own way this season. Great performances, brushing teams aside, champions performances. No doubt, I'm not denying the first half of the season for Arsenal was absolutely exceptional. But I'm sorry, they've had an absolute slip-up of mighty proportions this week in the last 7 days, losing to Everton and drawn to Brentford. We have to capitalise, move into the Emirates, ready to take on this wounded beast in Arsenal right now. They're down. We need to kick them while they're down and punish. That's what the Manchester City of old would do. Now, I do realise we are not the Manchester City of old. We aren't. We are not the same heavy-hitting, chance-creating, punishing team that we used to be, but we still have that DNA. We still have players that can punish. We need to go and really punish them for making their mistakes and make them realise this is not going to be an easy run-in by any means. They have 2 games against us this season. This title is wide open. People saying, yes, points-wise and mathematically, City are well in the race. This is what they've been saying for weeks. City are well in the race mathematically, but when you look at the way both teams are playing, Arsenal are just going to keep winning and winning and winning, and they won't slip up. They've slipped up. They've slipped up. You're naive to think, you really are, that you won't slip up in these high-pressure situations. And I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, it's only going to get more high pressure. We know about this. We've done these business ends. We know how tough those last 5-10 games can be. You don't. And you're showing that right now by slipping up to lower-class opposition. I know Brentford are playing well this season, but they're classed as lower-class opposition in comparison to Big Six games. Everton, relegation battlers. I said it. When you're playing against teams who are fighting for their lives, every single point will count for Everton. They will put up a serious problem for you, and they've done so. You've been humbled a little bit. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't go anywhere. You have been humbled a little bit, and you're coming to the realization that these things are not easy. Now, I do know plenty of Arsenal fans who are very realistic and honest, and they understand that these things aren't won easily, and maybe slightly older ones that these things aren't won easily, and so many things can happen along the way in a title race, and Arsenal are inexperienced in these situations, and they probably get that, and they aren't totally surprised by what they've witnessed in the last week. But the newer fans who thought that this was going to be plain sailing because City aren't playing great, they're not as threatening as they used to be, will run this league. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, we really have to turn up tomorrow. Pep has to get the decisions right. What do we want to see in terms of team selection? Joe has a predicted starting 11 up on screen beside me. As always, I don't know who Joe has in his predicted starting 11. It's basically Joe's starting 11. He doesn't show it to me before I make these previews. I'm giving my thoughts. But what I would like to see, even if it's different to what you see beside me, I want to see Laporte and Diaz back in that back four. I want to see Laporte and Diaz. Listen, big up Akanji, big up Ake. I want Ake in the left back position, by the way. But Laporte as a ball playing centre half, I need him for those quick, snappy passes. Something we haven't been good enough at is quick chance creation, transitioning from first phase to third phase quickly. Laporte is probably the best in the squad for doing so. Bring back Ruben Diaz, something we have been lacking all season. Even when we're winning games all season, we've been lacking fight. We've been lacking a leader, a real capitano, a general. Someone like Otamendi had that. Not the best footballer technically, or he wasn't gifted with the best technical ability, but he was an absolute warrior of large proportions. Ruben Diaz is that. Probably a slightly better footballer than Otamendi, maybe, but he shares the same qualities in the sense that he's an absolute leader. I need Ruben Diaz back. I need Bernardo Silva. I need Bernardo Silva, but I don't just need him on the pitch. I need him being his best. I need him back to his best. I know you want to leave, Bernardo. I know you're already thinking about your next challenge, but bring back the old Bernardo. Help us win one more league. Give us that Duracell bunny energy in the middle of the park. Press high, drop deep and link up play. I need De Bruyne back in form. He has been pretty well crap, even though his stats would tell you otherwise. But performance-wise, De Bruyne, has been poor. So I need him back to his best. I'd like to see a front three of Grealish, Haaland, and I need Phil Foden back on the team. I need Phil Foden with a new lease of life. I need a new lease of energy from Phil Foden. Remember, this is his club. Manchester City is Phil Foden's club, born and bred blue. The Stockport Iniesta, and everyone's talking shit on your club, Phil Foden. Everyone wants to see your team fail and your team crumble. Are you going to allow that? You stand up now. Phil Foden has been part of a fantastic City team since he joined the club. Everything's gone our way. Everything's been perfect, bar Champions League football. He hasn't had real adversity. Now is a sign of adversity for him. He needs to stand up and show how much he cares and he wants it. So I'm willing to give him that opportunity. I would like him in the team, but equally, I would be happy to see Riyad Mahrez because Mahrez has been pretty good since the return after the World Cup. A statement needs to be made tomorrow, people. A massive statement needs to be made. We need to show all the fight, all the character, all that siege mentality of City versus the world that we've been speaking about since Pep opened his mouth yesterday morning in the press conference. It really does. And if we don't, then at that point, I'm starting to say, right, it is just a problem season, a transition season, and just one of those ones where you say we've won 4 and 5 and you're allowed a season off. But we're not at that point. We're still at a point where it's achievable. Great things can be achieved this season, but the players have to show it. The fans have shown support. The fans have shown that siege mentality of us versus the world this week. Pep has shown it in his press conference. Now it's time for the last piece of the puzzle, the players to show it. The players need to show it. I know there's a fan bus welcoming tomorrow before the game. If you are going to the game, please go to the fan or the bus welcoming. Get your flags, show your noise, bring your flares, whatever it is you need to do. Don't get arrested, obviously, but do whatever it is you need to do to show the team that we are behind you and we want this. So we want you to show that you want it too. Massive, massive, massive game. Massive, massive, massive week for Manchester City. We beat Villa tomorrow in convincing fashion. It's all to play for in the Emirates on Wednesday night, which I'm going to. So I'm praying to God we get first and foremost the result tomorrow. But if we can get a result and a big character performance, I will be so motivated and excited going to the Emirates on Wednesday night. In terms of my score predictions for tomorrow, I'm going to go with a statement 3-0 Manchester City. It has to be now, people. It has to be now that we bounce and we click and we show fight and character like Vincent Kompany would, like Fernandinho would, like all these leaders we've had over the years would, like Aguero would. Stand up and be counted, basically. Now is the time to do so. It really is the time. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I was hyped and excited for my preview of the Tottenham game because Arsenal had lost to Everton at that stage, and look how that turned out. So I'm not getting too ahead of myself. I'm just trying to reiterate what we have been saying all week as a fan base. We need to click now. We can't be kicked down by Premier League, by losing games recently either. We can't be kicked down by rival fans telling us we're guilty and we're cheaters and strip us of our titles and send us down to Vanarama and whatnot. No, we're innocent. We still have a Premier League to fight for. Get on track. Get on track. Get into a run. Get into a rhythm. Get everybody working in tandem, and we can do this. I'm telling you, we can do this. Big performance needed tomorrow. Please, people, let me know your thoughts down below in the chat on everything that's happened this weekend. Some big results I've seen. Tottenham lost as well, but the big one for us is Arsenal drawing at home to Brentford. It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign that maybe they're getting a little bit shaky, a little bit nervous. So let me know your thoughts on that, and let me know your thoughts going into this Aston Villa game, because it is absolutely huge for us right now. Leave your score predictions down below. If you would as well, please leave a like on the video. It really massively helps, and do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're really getting close now to 6K, which is the next big goal, so it would mean a lot if you could join us on that journey. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Big weekend, big week. Come on, City. Good night and God bless. Listen.